As water saturated the catchment area, residents in Lorne and low-lying areas of Maitland were evacuated, and SES and emergency services anxiously kept watch on rising flood levels. This was a major test of the Maitland levee system.
The Bureau of Meteorology has predicted a flood level of 11.3 metres at the Belmore Bridge at approximately 12 noon tomorrow. This means that the following areas may be inundated: South Maitland, outside the levee ring, Louth Park, low-lying areas of East Maitland and Pitnacree. It is recommended that you evacuate within the next 3 hours. If you leave it later, roads may be congested or closed. Now, Garth, we've got crews going out to these areas now, door knocking to tell these people to leave now.
On the banks of the Hunter River at Morpeth, it has broken its banks. It actually looks like a great big iced coffee milkshake. Very frothy.
State Emergency Service has started to evacuate people in low-lying areas of Maitland who are expected to experience major flooding in the next few hours.
There is no way anyone evacuated can get to Singleton Heights from Singleton Township itself. We're cut on the New England Highway over the other side of the river. We're cut on the Bridgeman Road and we're cut on the Darlington Road. You can't get through any of them into Singleton.
So, Jan, by the sounds of it, you're stuck pretty much at this stage.
Yes.
The SES says major flooding at Maitland and Singleton in the next 24 hours will reach levels similar to the 1971 flood in the Hunter Valley.
We've had about 7 rescue events today. There were 3 people sitting on the top of one car that the boys went over in the floodboat and took them off. And we had a couple of young boys decided they'd go for a bit of a swim, so we had to go and help them come out of that. It's been an eventful day one way and another.
As you drive and look to the left through Brankston, it's just a sea of water. There's a couple of paddocks there by Anvil Creek and people have moved their horses and up onto the side of the road. The situation at the moment is that the area around the Brankston Inn is being inundated with water and the water is starting to cross the New England Highway.
What is the latest in Maitland and the Belmore Bridge?
By midday today, we will be exceeding the major flood level of 10.7 metres. We will be on our way to 11.3 metres by midnight tonight.
Now, that is officially a major flood. What sort of expectation do you have if you reach that level?
At the moment, we'll be looking at major evacuations.
am at the SBS headquarters in Rutherford, the main centre for the Maitland area. As you can imagine, things are quite hectic here. There's probably about 100 volunteers. They've come from all over the state, Dubbo, Queanbeyan and Cooma. They're deploying 3 flood boats to East Maitland area. They are predicting that the Rutherford and Western Maitland area will become cut off from East Maitland as the day progresses.
I'm down at the Maitland railway station where we've got probably 50 or so SES volunteers assisting New South Wales Fire Brigade and the rail authorities, putting up a sandbag dike in front of the railway station to keep the water out.
There are fire engines, emergency services stationed at both sides. 20 metres from where I am, there are a few kids mucking around in the shallow parts of it, and it is moving into the backyards of houses right near where I am standing.
The volunteers are out there getting to who they can, but certainly if you're in a low-lying area, watch the river, be prepared to move if it's rising. Don't wait to be told. If you think you're in any sort of danger, please move.
They're really urging people to get out. The key issue is to get them out before dark.
The evacuation's gone very well. The police advised us that there may have been up to 4,000 people affected by that, and volunteers have been out there and door knocked, and the community have responded very well.
We had the SES come to our house, and then an hour later we had the police come, and they said that they would actually force us to move. And my neighbours, elderly neighbours, were saying that they wouldn't. Quite a few elderly people in the Lawn community, and I think it is a big issue that people don't really understand what that's like. They've been through the floods in the 50s and the 70s. You know, they survived that, so that they think that they'll be okay.
The Bureau of Meteorology says the central Maitland district in the New South Wales Hunter Valley will not flood. The Hunter River in Maitland is peaking at lower levels than previously expected.
The spillways are doing their job. We will do a lot of our own reconnaissance at first light. We will start to look at the water. We do have some aerial assets which will come in very handy today as we do that. We will then start to look at whether we can give the all clear so that people can go back to their houses.
You know, you start to play the roles out, the scenarios out. What would we do if we got caught? Where would we put the children? What if you got caught with a baby in the water, you know? And all those things, it does start to play on your mind. And that's why I'm still up at 2:15.
12 months later, there were still people yet to return to their homes. Others who are fearful of severe weather warnings, and still others who have yet to come to terms with their loss. Thank you for telling us your stories and sending us your pictures. As time fades, the 2007 June long weekend storms and floods will become a part of our local history and will be remembered along with the Maitland floods of the 1950s and the storms that drove the Cygna aground in 1974.